Hello and welcome to Coping with Donald. I'm going to see if I can pause this just to learn how to pause it. No, that's not the pause button. Nope, that'll make the screen smaller. And let's try this. Oh, it does. Okay, it just came up and said pause video recording. So now I know how to do it in the future. It is January 7th, 2026. I am Phil. And I know we could talk about Venezuela, but I want to learn more about it first. And I know it happened days ago, but I think there will be more information coming out on this on a day-to-day basis, and so I'm going to pause on that one. Except to say that I'm a believer in diplomacy and all this Don Road doctrine stuff that's coming out, and we're going to take this and we're going to take that because we're going to protect Americans and take over the hemisphere. That's very un-American. Really, it's very un-American at this date and time. You know, maybe for James Monroe it was different 200 years ago. We were a new country. We wanted to make sure nobody attacked us. I don't think anybody's ready to attack us. And we'll see how this washes out. But for right now, I want to talk about cars. And if there are young people out there listening, car prices have really gotten out of control. And I just see all these videos about people accepting any kind of interest rate to get a loan to get into a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 vehicle. So I want to stress that I got my Chevy Malibu. Dodge. I stay away from that name. I had a bad Dodge 40 years ago, and it never left my brain. Okay, get out of Dodge. I have a Chevy Malibu. I bought it just over 2 years ago. It was a 2023, and I wound up getting it for. And I wasn't going to work anymore, but I was employed by the post office still because I had so much vacation time built up. So I wanted to get a car for retirement, not be in auto repair shops. And I got the car for what was actually about 4 months' pay. Now, that would be impossible now because I'm not working there anymore. So in retirement, I make less money, and the cars have gone up so much in price. But if you're looking at anytime you buy a car, I would suggest not going over 8 or 9 months gross pay. It's just a good rule of thumb. I don't think I ever went over 8 months, and except when I bought a car when I was severely underemployed and things were really bad. But and it wasn't it was the Dodge, as a matter of fact. It was the Dodge and the Hyundai after the Dodge. Oh boy, those were bad times. However, don't get a 20% loan. If you're getting a 20% loan, it's because the person loaning you the money doesn't think you're going to pay it back. That's why they're charging you 20%, believe it or not. You would think they'd go lower to make it easier for you to pay it back, but they don't think that you're responsible or dependable. Now, you might have your own opinions on that, whether you are or not. And really, if you're dependable, you only show it through results. And a lot of the people that are trying to trade in their car and get a new $70,000 car don't have anything down, and they have a repossession on their record, and they've declared bankruptcy and all that kind of stuff. But if you're young, when I got my first car, I honestly thought that if the car breaks, then you don't have to pay for it anymore. Honestly. Now, that was 50 years ago. And like everybody else, I learned through experience. But that's what I thought. I was happy to get any loan at all. It turns out the loan I got was about 12%. And the amount that I had to pay to the car was pretty much a week's pay, which is probably too much. Anyhow, I got in the car. you got to pay attention to the interest rate. If you can't qualify for less than 20%, try to stick with what you have, keep paying off that, and probably your interest rate will go down the next time around because you've proven yourself to be a consistent payer. All right? The car loans that they want to hand out now are going to make it almost impossible for you to keep that car. And I feel bad, especially for the younger people who really don't know what questions to ask. They only care about how much will I pay a month. Well, anybody can get you to pay less per month if they make the term longer. If they make the term longer, you will pay less per month. However, you will pay more overall. All right? If you get an 8-year loan instead of a 6-year loan, your monthly payment will go down, but you will be paying for a longer period of time. Until you can get a loan that is reasonable. And by reasonable, I would say less than 12%. And a lot of people are probably saying, oh, that's way too high. And it is. But until you can get a loan that's reasonable, try to get something, I know you're not going to like it, but something used and dependable, like a Corolla or an Accord or a Camry, something like that, that has a history of being more dependable, and tool around in that for a year or two. Try to save up 5, 6, 7,000 for a down payment. Pay all your bills, and boy, if that interest rate of 22 gets cut in half or more, then you'll see lower payments. But it breaks my heart to see the amount of repos that are going on. People that buy cars or trucks and find out 3 months later, oh boy, this is worse than I thought. And one thing that you could do to prepare is tell yourself, well, payment on that car is like $1,100, whatever it is, $900. For the next 3 months, try to put 900, well, if your car payment now, okay, try to put the difference between your car payment now and that $900 or $1,100 that they want. Try to put the difference on the side in a bank account every month for 3-4 months. If you find out that you can't do it, that you're dipping into it to pay for other bills, then you really aren't going to just magically find the money when you have the new car. Okay? It always helps to go with somebody who's bought a car before. You shouldn't be asking, how much is it per month? You should be asking, how long, what's the amount to be financed? How did we get to that number? Because there's all those tack-on things. It's normal for a lot of places to tack on up to a couple of $1,000s for their dealer fee. But I've seen a lot of places, especially here in Florida, that also tack on something else of $2,000 or $2,500, an extra $2,000, $2,500 on top of that dealer fee for the Joe Smith guarantee or something. And they're giving you nothing. Okay? So you ask, how do we get to this number that's going to be financed? So you want the price that you agree on, plus whatever tax, whatever fees they have for the paperwork that they have to do, which is substantial for registration and things like that. And then that minus your down payment. And then how long is it going to be financed for? and at what interest rate, and then what payment does that turn out to be. And if you want to lower the payment a little bit, you can put it out an extra 12 months and get a bit of a longer loan. If you want to pay it off faster, you can try to do that too and see what the payments would be. All right? But to just say, how much am I going to pay a month is like signing a blank check, really. It's like signing a blank check. It's really good if you have somebody who's bought cars before, have them go with you. They don't have to even contribute to the conversation unless it's something like, this mechanically doesn't look good to me. I don't like that sound at all. Okay, I don't care how the car looks. It sounds terrible, and it's going to cost you another 50% of what you're paying for it to fix it. Also, when you find a car you like, you find a price you like, that person should just let you go on the price by yourself, and then make sure that you're asking those important questions about financing. And be prepared to walk away if it's too much. There's a car dealer on every corner, okay? So please, don't expect the car dealer to be looking out for you. They can't. They have to be looking out for the car company, for the dealer that's selling it, whether it's a used car dealer or a new car dealer. They're always going to do that. They're never going to come and say, well, I like you, so I know we were going to agree on this and go for financing. I'll give you $2,000 more off. They're not going to do that, okay? And I wish you the best. I just feel bad to see all these cars being repossessed and credit ruined, and whatever they say about banks not coming after you, they will. Even if they repossess your car and they sell it, they probably will be taking a loss on that loan because they won't sell it for enough, and then they're going to come after you for that. Okay? And whoever is online saying, oh, they won't come after you, these things are being tallied up. Okay? So be careful out there, and I hope you can all get the car you want. And if not, be patient, because in a couple of years, these very high new car prices, they're going to come down. You will be able to get a car with probably 30,000 miles on it for half of what they're selling brand new, because we're hitting a day of reckoning with repossessions and late people paying late. It's hitting an all-time record right now. Okay? Be careful out there, and good luck to you.